пане Блінкен. Дякуємо вам за те, що завітали на саміт і вашій країні за незмінну підтримку України. Ну, а просто зараз я хочу нагадати, що у нас працює Mental Stage. Це додаткова сесія, присвячена міжнародному медичному партнерству. І, власне, зараз ми звернемося до неї, учасники, міністра охорони здоров'я, одразу декількох країн-партнерів. До вашої уваги.
Partner countries which we would like to hear from.
Ну що ж, пані та панове, вітаю
Well,
вас усіх.
ladies and gentlemen,
Mental Stage.
congratulations.
Починається дуже важлива дискусія.
We are now starting a new discussion about international health partnerships. So, after 18 months of full-scale war, our health system went through some serious challenges, and our Ukrainian doctors, they worked very hard to rescue patients. In the times of shelling,
води, тепла, так? Ми
without any
завдяки тому, що мали дійсно потужну підтримку не тільки в
utilities available,
а в
but we showed resilience.
сьогодні
And we have demonstrated this in country and beyond. So this international support is becoming better and better, especially through international health partnerships. A number of Ukrainian hospitals
поруч зі мною зараз
partnered with multiple international hospitals. Victor Lishko, the Minister of Health, is with me today. Arunas Dukis, the Minister of Health of Lithuania, and Irina Sigut, the Minister of Health from Estonia, and Alana Marenko from Moldova, and the Director of the Specialized Pediatric Center, Roman Kizima. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being present with us, also mentally and physically. Now, a quick question to you, Dmitro. So, today is a very historic event. We are talking about international health partnership, and it becomes official and formal. So, can you please tell us more? What kind of agreements have been already made in this regard? Thank you for your question. Thank you, ministers, colleagues. Thank you, everyone who is here with us. Also, thank you those who have joined us online. Today is a truly historic event. We have launched the global network of international health partnership, and that means signing of different memorandums and close cooperation between Ukrainian hospitals and international counterparts. So this network will expand, of course, to other countries. Now, during this summit, first, ladies and gentlemen, we have already signed a few memorandums on cooperation. A dozen of international doctors from different countries came to attend this summit. And together with the colleagues from Ukrainian hospitals, they now sign cooperation memorandums. Now that means that we're not just getting support. You know, Ukrainians got experience, which is very unique. No one else has it. So our heroes, our staff, our doctors will be sharing this experience so that other countries who will end up in a difficult situation will be able to properly respond. Now, I want to mention that without good partnerships, health systems of different countries won't be able to survive. So when we launch this international health partnerships, we are demonstrating best practices, how other governments should cooperate in the health sector. And we are cutting the red tape because colleagues can talk to each other. Between hospitals, between doctors, they can solve issues very quickly. And this quick approach to resolution of issues simplifies communication and saves lives. Right. Thank you so much. Now that is a true powerful initiative, and it allows to strengthen Ukrainian hospitals, and it truly saves lives. So this international health partnership was officially launched today, but in fact there are already some health establishments and also outside Ukraine that already introduce and implement such cooperation. The Western Ukrainian Specialized Pediatric Center. From the very beginning of the full-scale invasion, they have become the principal pediatric hospital, and they were responsible for evacuation of children with some serious diseases. So can you please tell us, Roman, about your cooperation with the Princess Maxima Center from the Netherlands? Well, right, there is this center in Utrecht in the Netherlands, and from the very beginning of the war, they responded to our request for cooperation. And over 100 Ukrainian children from all the parts of Ukraine, with support of our medical staff, traveled to this center, and they got proper treatment. 7 of our specialists got internship opportunity there, and this cooperation goes on. We are now thinking about future steps. So on August 20th, with the presence of Olena Zelenska, the First Lady, in Utrecht, we signed a cooperation memorandum, and it includes continuation of internships for medical staff, treatment for patients, and infrastructural projects in the field of molecular genetics.
Тепер я хочу дати слово нашим
Thank you so much. Now we are giving floor to our friends and partners who will talk in detail about cooperation with Ukrainian hospitals. Let's start with Lithuania. Lithuania for 15 years have been implementing the national program for mental health, and they have so much common joint initiatives with Ukraine, and Arnas Dulkis with us, the Minister of Health. So now we have a question for you. How Lithuania can assist Ukraine in terms of mental health and development of mental health services? Thank you.
Thank you for a question. And first of all, we should understand that the phenomenon which we call burnout is recognized as not for Lithuania or for Ukraine, is a worldwide phenomenon and issue. Second thing is that burnout is more widespread among healthcare staff if we compare with any other or most quantity of other professions. And the third thing, that when we face a pressure for the healthcare employees creates even further stress, especially in times of crisis. That's why we must have prepared action plans, activities, holistic activities, and we should tackle end organizations. That means that we should start from studies. We should change programs in higher education level to study the conflict and stress management things, social emotional things. When people are in positions of managers in hospitals, they must be trained to use these methods. For example, mediation method. We should change our organization's culture. The culture must be shared among all institutions in all country. All must decide on common principles. And of course, the last things is abuse and violence prevention. And of course, we must be prepared to have team training to prepare for future crises, to have these such kind of plans. We have a lot of what to do.
Багато чого ви маєте, і звісно, є багато чому повчитися у нас, а нам
Right, you have so many things, and the whole concept behind the international health partnerships is exactly that. So, Irina, we have a question to you. So, Estonia has the university clinic in Tartu, and for Ukraine, that is a role model. So, what kind of projects you think are priority in terms of health partnerships? And are we talking about university clinics per se, or a wider cooperation?
Estonia started cooperation with Ukraine in rehabilitation in 2014, and we never thought that the need will be that high. So we treat some of the Ukrainian heroes who have lost their lower limbs, but at the same time, we realized that Estonia's capacity is so small. We cannot fit the tens and thousands of people who need treatment. So our contribution could be through developing university programs to train health professionals who can work in Ukraine and help the people here. The first program was in occupational health in the University of Kiev, and the first graduates are already working in Ukraine, but we should move forward and work on the modernizing the rehabilitation program. But at the same time, we also train Ukrainian health specialists in Estonia. For example, in October, we'll receive 40 Ukrainian specialists to train in the East Tallinn Central Hospital, and they have prosthesis center and rehabilitation clinic. So I think it could be an interesting experience both for Estonians and very useful for Ukrainian specialists as well.
Дякую, звичайно. Просто для всіх глядачів хотілося б уточнити.
Thank you so much. Let's clarify for the participants what a university clinic is, because in Ukraine we get used to the concept of a regional hospital. You know, is it a clinic that belongs to the university, or is it something special?
Yes, the clinic is owned by the city of Tartu, university, and the state as well, Ministry of Health. But the scale of Estonia is unimaginable here. We have one medical school, and this university clinic is tied to the medical school. So every doctor basically working in Estonia have graduated from this one school. So but it has all the medical specialties. It has a transplantation center. So it is a very good example of a very high level of medical education and medical treatment center. So the cooperation between university clinic and regional hospitals in Ukraine. But I have to emphasize that the healthcare specialists, they come from the educational system. So the Ministry of Education of Ukraine visited University of Tartu, so the first contacts are already there.
Це надзвичайний досвід, тому я сподіваюся, що пане Вікторе, не без вашої участі, так само буде якомога швидше імплементовано це і в Україні.
So Victor, similar approaches hopefully will be implemented in Ukraine. Now, Alla, this is a very difficult time for your country and for our country, and your country has done so much for Ukrainian children who came to Moldova from the very beginning of the full-scale invasion.
Ваша країна багато вклала
Your country invested so much in the health, mental health specifically, and vaccination. Now, what this medical partnership will focus on, and whether Moldova will continue on its path to helping Ukrainian children.
First of all, thank you for this very important question, because everything that we are doing, we have to do for our children, because children are our future of each country. We were very happy to support Ukrainian refugees, and mostly of them were women and children. And from the first day of aggression of Russia against Ukraine, we covered all the refugees with free of charge services. So all the children benefited from health care, starting with family medicine services at the level of primary health care, until some operations or some very serious intervention at the level of tertiary institutes of, for example, Institute of Mother and Child that we have in Chisinau. So we provided for them not only urgent emergency health care, but also checkups, also vaccination, because starting also from last year, all the children were accepted by our educational system to frequent kindergarten schools, and they were very happy because it was first step, how to say, of mental health care solutions to include, to have all these children including in a normal life together with Moldovan small citizens. So we continue because we approved at the beginning of this year, we approved the governmental decision. It's called for temporary care for refugees. So we continue to assist. We have, of course, also problems, and a big problem that many of families are missing information about vaccination because this documentation were lost. So we have to start from zero. But we will continue to give to the children also prophylactic services, and we are happy to do this with financial support of UNICEF, WHO, UNFPA. So we together are doing a great job in Moldova for Ukrainian children, starting with very small things and finishing with a very complicated operation. So Moldova remaining together with Ukraine with our hearts and doors opened for you.
Дякуємо вам надзвичайно. Я дякую абсолютно всім вам, хто сьогодні тут безпосередньо з нами.
Thank you so much.
Хто з нами в
Thank you
онлайні.
everyone who is
Тому що дійсно
present
сьогодні
physically with us
можна сказати,
today.
історичний
Thank
день
everyone
не
who
тільки
joined
для
us online,
всіх
and
країн,
this is a
які
truly
долучилися
historic
до
day for
міжнародного
Ukraine and for
медичного
everybody who is
партнерства.
joining our
Чесно кажучи, я не
health
знаю, чи є в нас
partnerships.
ще час.
So I didn't know whether we have any time left, but if we do,
У нас все-таки ми сьогодні говоримо про
we
ментальне
are
здоров'я,
talking
і
about
це
mental
все
health
за
today.
протоколом, поза
And
протоколом, але дуже коротко.
We are following the agenda. So, very briefly, from each and every one of you, we'd like to hear some very quick information, some life hacks. How do you take care of your own personal health? Thank you.
Well, my life hack is jogging in the mornings and 3 times a week in the gym. But they claim that black chocolate helps, but only on Saturdays. Yeah, over the weekend, Mr. Roman. I am the father of many kids, so my life hack is taking care of my kids at night. That helps you a lot. I understand you quite well because I have many kids myself. So
Okay,
what about you?
for each politician and for ministers, I suggest plan number 1, it's good sleep. 6 hours, even you are a minister, even you are in pandemic times.
Just 6 hours, але ж кажуть, що потрібно
It's
хоча
a
б
lot.
хоча б 6, окей.
At least 6, I see. Thank you, Ms. Irina.
I agree with my Lithuanian colleague. Good sleep. And it is ironic, but having 3 small children, I sleep better here in Kiev, even with this air alarm, than back home with 3 kids coming to my bed. So there are good sides. But when we talk about mental health, it is joking a bit, but that there is a very strong truth to that. So our mental health, the mental health of all of us, would be much better when Russia loses and all the war criminals will face trial, including the Russian leadership.
Золоті слова.
Golden words. Thank you. Inshallah, your life hacks.
So being a doctor by my background, so I can recommend to each to keep an optimistic view, to smile, and also for surviving to keep a humor, understanding of everything around. For politician, I think it's a good advice because it's a very complicated time for each of us. And we have to remain optimistic. So I believe that Ukraine will win this war, and we have to support you.
Дякую вам надзвичайно. Ми
Thanks a lot.
аплодувати нас не
And
дуже
yeah,
багато, але оплески
even
будуть
though
Дякую вам
there
надзвичайно.
are a few of
І
us,
сподіваюся,
but
що
these are
сьогодні, те, що ми
heart-warming applause. So
разом, так,
hopefully
найближчим
what
часом
we
дасть свої
did
результати, які
together
будуть
today
нам
will generate results, would be helpful not only here in Ukraine, but in all of the countries that are involved in this international medical partnership. And once again, I hope it will be geometrically increasing. You're claiming that 25 memorandums were signed today. Well, hopefully by the end of this year, it will be in 3 digits at least. So thanks a lot and glory to Ukraine.
Ну що ж, на цьому перша частина
So
роботи
that's
Mental Stage у нас завершується.
the end of the first part of mental health session, but this is only the beginning of this summit, so we have lots of interesting and important events ahead of us.
За декілька
In a couple of
буде наступний
seconds, actually, we'll have the second block of this summit, how the war impacts mental health. Stay with us.